My name is Gayle Weinstein and we're in Weston, Connecticut. Well, community is really what the base of Weston is. We're a very small town. We have no industry. Our town center consists of a supermarket, a luncheonette, a liquor store, and a hardware store. That's about it. That's the only commercial base that we have. So really all we have are people. And if people don't have people, then we really have nothing in our town. I moved to Weston about 13 years ago, and I actually got involved with a grassroots initiative that was trying to prevent power lines from going over our head in town. Actually, they were going to try to put them across Connecticut. And I joined this grassroots initiative. I became one of their community organizers, and what we were successful in doing is getting the power lines to go underground along main roads as opposed to over our heads along parks and open preserves. I think that it helped to bring community together because all of us in the town of Weston realized that we didn't want these 345 kV power lines over our heads. And it really would have destroyed neighborhoods, it would have destroyed open space, which is something that's essential to preserving in Weston. So all of us really banded together to fight this initiative, and we were successful. The Siting Council eventually did put the power lines underground. Well, I am on our town's Board of Selectmen, which is kind of like our city council or mayor's office in other towns. I am running for first selectman, and one of the issues that I'm trying to bring to light, one of the things that I'm trying to glean from what's happening on a national level is this idea of service. I think it's very important to get volunteers in the community to help in the community. And we're doing that right now. We've started an organization that's going to be the Weston Service Corps, which is going to be neighbors helping neighbors, whether it's people helping people who are in need financially in town or physically in town, whether it's the school children interacting more with the seniors, whether it's the seniors helping at the schools. There are just so many ways that we can partner to get the community to come together as one. I also think once you start getting the different groups working together, it allows for a greater understanding of how each individual group kind of thinks and operates. I think if the students interacted with the seniors more, they can have a better understanding of their point of view. And if we get the seniors in the schools, they can understand why the schools and education are so important to the parents and families who live in town as well. The other thing that I'm hoping that this will help is offsetting our budget. So now we have to start thinking out of the box and how we can go to offset those social services initiatives that I'd like to bring to the town. And I'm hoping to do that through a volunteer base. We have one social worker who works 27 hours a week, and that's it. Our numbers have grown from 35 families in need to over 100 families in need in the past year. Our social services team gives them money, for example, for doctor's visits and dentist visits. So if we had a core group of people in town who were doctors and dentists who would donate a certain number of visits per year for the town, that would be helpful. A lot of times these people have houses that are falling down, that are in need. We just did an America Cares house in town, which really kind of helped this woman who would not be able to stay in her house because it was falling apart, kind of bring it together. So if we had a volunteer corps of carpenters and electricians who are willing to help out on an as-needed basis, or people in town who are willing to make food and bring food to a family in need, or have a central drop-off point where people know at 4 o'clock on these days of the week they can pick up a hot meal, I think that would be immensely helpful in just helping them with their everyday responsibilities. I hope that my kids learn that it's possible to determine your own life. I didn't start out in politics. I didn't start out as a community organizer. I started out getting a degree in physical anthropology, and I thought I was going to be an Indiana Jones, and obviously life doesn't turn that way when you realize the financial need that one has. Then I moved to New York. I had a job in human resources. So I think you kind of have to follow your passion and let that take you. And that's what I hope my kids learn, that it's important to find something that they like to do and do it. I try to teach my kids the importance of helping others, and I'm hoping that that's something that will stay with them throughout their lives. Well, I'm running for first selectman. Our election is in November, and hopefully I win. That's where I go from here. I think everything that you ever do on a grassroots organizing community level is to try to affect change. And while I think I have obviously been successful at a certain level as a volunteer, taking that next step to an elected official, I think gives you a greater scope and a greater platform to affect change in a greater sense. You know, whether you're a first selectman or go on to a state legislative position, I think that you can help bring your vision to fruition in a stronger way. When a small group of people gain momentum and build in numbers, you can change the world. You can change what's happening in your town, you can change what's happening in your backyard. And that's really the route that you need to go. You need to get that groundswell of support in order to create change.